Hey guys, welcome back to another part of Let's Play Oddworld Munch's Oddysee. And last time on this, we took out the Flub Fuels Executive Office, or whatever it was, Flub Co., something like that. And now we're going to do the loading dock. And I'm just going to start out by saying that this part is 100% post-commentary, because unfortunately, the way I used to record with fraps and everything, I would use a setting called stereo mix, which basically records everything. And unfortunately I can't use that with my new headset because it's a USB, and I don't know, it doesn't work out. So I have to do this post commentary thing, but it'll work out just fine. So anyway, there's gonna be a cutscene, so I'm gonna shut up real quick.
Hey, looking good.
Yeah, now that we're out of those work clothes and all cleaned up.
These loincloths make me feel like a new mud.
Right. So we wait here and gather up all the egg crates that even Munch are gonna throw into the loading chutes. Right?
That's my understanding.
I hope they don't break them all.
Yeah, so basically, sorry about that, I pushed the mute button on my... anyway, so basically those guys just described one of the main things you have to do in this level, which is to save the labor eggs, which we'll see in a little bit.
Find the water main, then let the cleansing power of water wash away your foes.
Yeah, so you can break down this level into basically two main things that you have to do. One of them is to open a water main valve thing like the shaman just said, and flood a couple rooms so that you can actually get through them and all that. And you also need to save these egg crates that are in the middle. As you can see, they're those crate looking things, but that'll be the last thing we do in this level. But first you have to traverse this big rectangular room. And as you can see and hear, there's interns that continuously circle that giant platform that has the egg crates on it. And you can sneak by them fairly easily because they have apparently horrible hearing and sight and everything, because they never see you when you're trying to get up here.
Hey, it's your last chance to improve your Kwama. Make it count. The Vikers have been stockpiling Mudakin labor eggs to sell to the highest bidder. Hey, that's what they do. Rescue Abe's unborn brothers by dropping them into the loading bay.
Yeah, and by loading bay he means those wells that are down there. And in this level we have 4 scrubs, 6 fuzzles, and then 22 egg crates. And the fuzzles and scrubs will be saved fairly easily, because the rest of the scrubs and fuzzles in this level are basically all in one area. But the egg crates are basically all in one area too, but those take quite a little bit to actually rescue. They take a little bit of time. But, yeah, so what you need to do is, in order to get to the room that has the water main valve thing, whatever it is, in order to get to there you have to bring Munch through here and get him over to that ladder that's on the opposite side of the room from where you enter it. And that means you have to take him through this floor that has the Viker, or the interns on it. And just be careful. Yeah, here I get shot a little bit because, you know, I was having trouble get up the stairs, but fortunately, there was only one guy who really saw me, so I kind of got a lucky break there. Because if all the interns had been there at that time, they would have all shot me and killed me. But anyway, first things first, you need to get Munch into this sewers tunnel. And I was kind of like swimming a little drunk because I was like texting while moving the controller, so I kept like running into the walls. It was so stupid. But so you bring Munch into this room, and this is probably the longest part of the level. especially if you're playing it for your first time. Because, as you just saw, I got shot at, and there are a bunch of enemies up there on the giant tower. So first thing, when you get in this room, you want to come over here, refill your health, get some Aqua Bounce, some Zap, and then some Espresso, so you can take out all of the enemies that are up on this tower that's up here. And this is a really annoying part, because you have to kill all of the enemies in order to be able to do this 100% safely. And as you'll see, there's a bunch of armored interns with guns, and there's also you fight Vikers up here, which are those one guys from the beginning cutscene. If you remember the two people at the beginning who captured Munch and all that. Yeah, those are Vikers. But anyways, you just saw, when I died, I decided that I'd cut back up to when I got back here. Oh, and those guys right there, those are the Vikers. They have these freaking bone saws of death, and they definitely make them the strongest enemies in the game, because they can definitely kill you the quickest. So just watch out for them. Okay, so I don't know if you guys heard that or not, but that really sounded like a fuzzle got killed by a Viker or something, because it sounded like something was whacking something, and then I heard the fuzzle death thing, but or the death noise they make. So I don't know if one actually died, or if it was just making that sound out of a glitch, but it's actually a good thing I died, that way I didn't have to find out the hard way that one might have died. Anyway, I do die and reload my save state a lot in this part, because it's just really annoying trying to avoid dying from the bone saw guys, the bone saw Vikers, because like within 1 or 2 whacks you're dead. You know, you can't survive no more than that. And then you get shot, and then it reduces it to like 1 whack. It's just really annoying. But a good strategy to do when you're taking out this part is to just keep doing what I'm doing. And anytime you get hit a bunch of times to where you're pretty sure that you're going to die within a few more hits, I really recommend that you come back down to the thing with all these vendos and get you some health up and all that. And just keep repeating this until you kill all the enemies. And don't show me killing every single enemy. This was kind of just for example. But I do eventually cut back to when they're all dead. And that's when the level becomes so much more easier to complete. But, so there is another strategy you can use to clear out this room. And that is to actually do it with Abe. Because when you save the 2 Madaka, or the 2 scrubs at the beginning, they give you 4 spoofs. And what you can do is get an invisible thing from a vendo that we'll see here in a minute. And you can bring Abe up here and have him jump up onto a platform that's in the main room on this tower. You can have him send a possession orb down and then possess one of the Vikers or whatever. And then you can have them kill all the other guys. And you can basically do that 2 times with 2 Vikers. And then basically after that you have to take out all the rest of them with Munch. But anyway, so I cut back to when I kill the last Viker. Because what I ended up having to do was just not be able to knock them off the edge, but I had to actually zap them to death. And then I think there's another cut right here where I was like checking my cell phone or doing something stupid. Yeah. And then basically I just go through and save all the fuzzles, and then I start trying to get Abe over here. And getting Abe to this room is a little frustrating, as you'll see here in a minute. Anyway, yeah, so all 6 of the fuzzles are right here in this room, so they kind of spared you on the trouble of having to pick up fuzzles from like almost every other area. So they kind of was nice with that. But then you have to get Abe over here, and basically what you need to do is get him across these magically floating platforms, and then you have to make this strangely awkward jump where if you fall down there, basically you're dead because you drown. And here's one of the rooms that you really need to flood, and is the main reason for pulling the water valve thing, which is not even really a water valve. It's more of just two levers that you have to pull with Munch and Abe. But so on this floor, there's a bunch of interns and armored Vikers with bone saws, so it's a really dangerous room to try to get through without having these windows. But luckily they put those there to be kind of nice. But anyway, so I get a little frustrated here because I think, like I was thinking that there was another way that I'm supposed to get into that room, but really you're just supposed to wait there and then have Munch open the door from the other side. But I was kind of stupid and kind of walked around and wasted some time. But anyway, so you definitely don't want to come onto this floor unless you have invisible and some bounce. And actually, yeah, you can't get up there without bounce because you have to bounce up to the ladder. I was beginning to think that that travel well actually shot you up to that really thin platform, but that's not actually how things work. But yeah, so you get up here, and yeah, you go back to Munch, and then you have to bring Munch over here. And there's one of those pads that you have to stand on that opens up the door. Well, as you can see, there's an intern there that I somehow missed when killing all the other interns, so I just have to go back and get another bounce and then another zap, and everything works out just fine. But yeah, so I'm really sorry if this commentary sucks. It's probably no better than my normal commentary, but I really don't like doing post-commentary videos, and you will probably never ever really see me doing post-commentary because I don't know why, but I just can't stand it. But basically, what I'm going to do with all my other Let's Plays, since I will basically never be able to do normal commentary with fraps while I'm using this headset. So during that time, if I ever want to do any emulator LPs, I'm going to have to do them on my Wii, because I do have basically all the emulators that I really play on the Wii, like Super Nintendo and then Nintendo 64. So I could just record it on the TV. So that's not really a problem. But for the rest of this, the last two parts of this LP are going to be post commentary. So it's going to suck for a little bit, and I'm just going to have to deal with it. But then after that, I will just either figure out an alternate method to recording, or just play the emulators on my Wii, which is not really that big a deal for me. Anyway, so I said that there was 2 more scrubs that you have to save at this point, and one of them is up here on this platform, and this was what I was referring to when I said that you could just bring Abe up here and then have him possess the Vikers and have him kill all the other interns and the other Vikers. That's the platform that I'm talking about that you should jump up to if you want to do that. But that's not something I recommend. But then the other, the last scrub is up here on this other platform, and both of these scrubs are fairly hard to miss. In fact, if you didn't know where they were, you might have a little trouble finding them. But this guy you have to throw and make it onto that target, which can be a little nerve-wracking sometimes, but it works. And then you just take him into the room and rescue him. And then, okay, so there's 2 levers over there, and you might be thinking, well, if you put all the scrubs into the rescue portal, how are you supposed to open those up? And as you can see, everything is saved except for the 8 crates. Well, you can't use scrubs to open up these levers because they just won't do it. And so basically, you just you're kind of forced into thinking that you have to pull them with Munch and Abe, which is actually what you have to do. And this is one of the few examples of teamwork that you actually see in this game, besides the pads that you have to alternate opening. But anyway, you pull one with one character, immediately switch to the other, and then pull it, and that activates the water valve things. And that's going to flood this room, and it's also going to flood this room, killing all the interns and all that. And it also floods this room, which kills the interns that are in there. So basically, you just destroyed all these interns and everything with their own building, which kind of adds insult to injury. Anyway, what you need to do here, and I stupidly just kind of circle the room, but basically you want to kill off Abe. I know that sounds cruel, but we've had to do it before, or we had to kill Munch, or one of the two. But just kill Abe, and then you can just very easily take Munch to back to the main room. And then there's a resurrection egg in there, so, and that's also the only resurrection egg in this level. So, and I know I've said for the past two parts that this is the hardest level in the game. And it is. Although I think I did it fairly well in this run, because I watched like someone else play it on YouTube, like right before I recorded this. So, and the person was Metrixer or something like that. I've only like barely glanced at his name, so I don't know how to exactly say it. But he has one of the only few good Munch's Oddysee LPs on YouTube. I mean, I'm not bashing anyone else who's done an LP of it, but it's probably the most popular. And there's not very many LPs of this game on YouTube because people have just overlooked it, I guess. But anyway, so yeah, I checked out his playthrough of this level, and so that's basically how I knew where everything is. But when I played this level in my practice run, it was basically completely horrendous. So I guess I was kind of making the level out to be harder than what it actually was, but this is still a difficult level. Alright, so anyway, once we get Abe back, we can bring Munch over here, and so here I messed with the settings a little bit because I was trying to see if there's a way I can make the shadow of the crane appear, because you definitely want to have at least some indication of what you're doing when you have the when you're using the crane to put these egg crates in there. But yeah, so in order to save these egg crates, you have to pick them up with the crane and carry them over to the well, and then you have to drop them in, and you have to repeat this with all 22 egg crates in this level. And it only gets worse in the next level, because in the next level you have to actually carry the crates with Abe, and I said you have to carry the crates with egg, but you have to carry the crates with Abe and have him throw them into the well on a couple of occasions. So that's definitely a very frustrating thing. And anyway, so then I cut back to when I only had 3 left, because I didn't want you guys to sit there and watch me carry every single egg crate into there, because eventually that'd get pretty old and repetitive. But yeah, so just be very careful when you put these egg crates in here. If you drop them, they will basically explode, and if you happen to explode them next to some other egg crates, those too will explode. So it's not really a fun thing to have these things explode, and especially if they're near another one. Like, for example, if I dropped that egg crate with all those other 4 egg crates that are over here, they would all explode, and then I'd have some pretty nasty korma on my hands. But yeah. So then, after you get the last few egg crates, then you have to bring Abe over and drop him on that target right there that just appeared on the screen. So that's another frustrating thing that you have to do, but luckily you can see Abe's shadow, so that's a good thing. Okay, so now if you were playing this game like normally, like if you weren't going for angelic korma, or if you happen to have anything less than really good korma, basically after this level you would be done with the game. You would get the bad ending, and you would be done. But if you're lucky and you have really good or angelic korma, you basically get to go on and do 2 more fun levels of the game. Yeah, fun my ass. Well, actually, the very last level is pretty fun, and it's actually a good break from these 2 last levels, which are fairly difficult. But anyway, so when I go through that entranceway there. Okay, but basically when I go through there, Munch starts spazzing out. And if you don't have really good korma, the game ends in that room and you get the bad ending. But if it's okay, if your korma's good, then you can basically go on and... Anyway, if you have angelic korma, then you get to go on and do the labor eggs. So that'd be loads of fun, and I like the newspaper reel that's talking about how they're basically being infiltrated and all that. Well, anyway, guys, as I smack Munch here, I'm going to end this part here. And next time on Let's Play Oddworld Munch's Oddysee, we will do the labor egg storage level. So I will see you guys next time. Weird camera angle for the win. See you guys next time. Bye.